OAWALKER here, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the brand new HTC One M8. This is the successor to the original HTC One M7 from last year. So we're going to be taking a look at all the features, my opinions and thoughts on the phone and all of that stuff. So first off, we're going to be taking a look at the hardware. I'm just going to show you around the device. So first of all, the screen. You've got a 5-inch HD screen, 1080p. There's no capacitive buttons, everything's done on screen, which is nice. You've got the two front facing speakers, which was great on the original HTC One and is even better on this one. You got the front facing camera, which is a 5-megapixel camera, which is a pretty decent camera. Got the HTC logo down here. If you turn to the back, we got the HTC logo. This is a aluminium shell and it feels very nice in the hand. You have the rear flash and the back 4-megapixel ultra camera. It's the same one on the original one, but slightly better. And you got a secondary camera up there, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. You can see the design is pretty good. So this side you got the SD card right here, and then you got the volume rocker. On the bottom you got the 3.5mm headphone jack and USB. On the left hand side we have no buttons here, we just have a tray for your nano SIM card. So if you're gonna get this phone, bear in mind you probably would have to get a new SIM card. So this takes the new nano SIM card, the smallest one. On the top you've got nothing and just a block button right there and an IR blaster. It's kind of like this nice black strip of plastic going across. It's very nice and sleek. This phone feels great in the hand. It feels very nice to hold. When you first hold it in your hand, you'll feel the quality straight away. The quality just is absolutely superb. It's amazing. The best quality phone I've held ever. So quality wise it feels very good, and the backs are kind of curved in, so it kind of sits in your hand beautifully and it feels very comfortable. But one thing to bear in mind is if you're holding a phone, be careful, it might slip out your hand. It doesn't have that much grip, so you know, hold it with caution. I normally hold the phone like this with my little pinky right there, so it doesn't drop or anything like that. You do get an included case with it that does provide a lot of extra grip, but I wouldn't recommend this case in particular because it just doesn't last that long, and I think this case may have scratched my phone, so I'm not particularly happy about this case and I wouldn't recommend that you use it. So go out and get a different one if you can. The design is absolutely stunning, and yeah, this is the grey one. It's also available in two different colours, which is silver and gold. I don't really recommend the silver one because unless you like it, you could go for it, but the silver one just looks a bit too plain. This guy, this metal kind of look it has, looks very nice. Trust me on that one, it looks miles better. And if you want to try the gold one, which I think comes out in a few days, you could try that one as well. That one looks alright as well. So you got different choice of color as well. So yeah, that's about it for the hardware. Overall, hardware is spot on and you won't be disappointed. Now we're going to take a look at the software, and first off, I have to say it's running the new version Sense 6.0. So there's just a few minor changes in here. Essentially it looks exactly the same with a few tweaks and a few changes to make it a lot better and a lot more mature. So if you go off to the left hand side, you got blink feed. Blink feed is still there on their device, and first impressions, I wasn't actually planning on using blink feed, but I thought let me give it a try, and I connected up some my news stuff and everything goes in here, and I actually found it pretty useful in keeping up with the news. Instead of going to the Verge website or Engadget or Android Central, everything gets put into one, and I actually did find it useful even though I didn't. So you got different news stories here from different websites. So you got a story there from Pocket Now. You can read the article or just go back, and it doesn't take you into a web browser or anything. Everything just gets pulled into one, which I think is pretty cool. So you could just read your stories and go back, and there's a bunch of different stuff you could add to it. So we're gonna go to add content. So these are all the different applications you could add. You could add news in from your Facebook, which I don't recommend because you might get a whole bunch of junk. I got Google Plus. You could have Instagram. Actually, I might add Instagram. And you need to log into that. I'll do that later on. You could add Twitter. You got different news stories. So if you're into entertainment, design, business, gaming, environment, politics, sports, technology and science, let's have a look what we've got in here. We've got CNET, Gizmodo, Android Central, Android Police, Phone Dog, Pocket Now, Slash Gear, T3, a whole bunch of different sites you could add in. So this is a great way to actually keep up with your tech news. So, you know, definitely consider trying this one out. And also, just want to note is the notification is still the same as the last one. You still have the one where you just kind of swipe up to kind of get rid of it. You got X up here to kind of close all your applications, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, that's the more multitasking on the phone. It handles it pretty well, and you got the dedicated button down here as well, and you got the back button and the home button there, so all on screen buttons. Next we're going to take a look at the camera. The camera is pretty good. I'm going to have some images going up on the screen right now. Now it's in video mode. The video mode is pretty good. If you want to see more in-depth, I have a separate video on my channel where I go in depth about some of the features, the cameras and stuff like that. But overall, the camera quality is pretty good. I have to say it is better than the S4 and the Note 3. I've tried both of them, and it's just when you're taking pictures, the image quality is so much better and just crisp when you compare it to the Note 3. I put them side by side already, and it just doesn't compare. So the camera in this is pretty damn good. And the only part where you might see it struggle a bit is when you're zooming in or you want to blow it up on a bigger screen. It's not going to be as sharp, but if you just, you know, taking pictures to view or upload it to Twitter or anything like that, it works pretty fine. So yeah. Next one, to look at the battery life. So let's jump into the battery. I have to say the battery life will definitely get you through a day, without a doubt. That's with, I'd say, about medium usage. I took this off the charger around 8 o'clock. I think, yeah, around 8 o'clock this morning. It's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon. About what you would spend out, and you should be back home by then. And I've got 54% left. And I've been on 4G all day. I've been pulling in email from about 6 different accounts. I've been playing games for about an hour. I've been viewing Twitter and stuff like that. Made a few phone calls and stuff like that. And you know, it still gets me through the day with 54% left. And I want to give you a quick tip to kind of save a little bit of battery life. Is during the day, if you want to kind of let your phone kind of sip the battery a little bit, I recommend you go into power and you turn on power saver mode, and you get a little notification up here, power saver mode on. What it does is it optimizes your battery, so it lowers your CPU, so it won't be as fast. It reduces the brightness of your screen vibration, and you can turn data off while the screen is off, which I unchecked because I want to receive my emails. But bear in mind, if you're going to start gaming while you have power saver mode on, it's going to be a bit slow. So I recommend that you turn power saver mode off when you start gaming. You could turn it back on after. If you do it this way, it will increase the battery life a lot, and you'll get a lot more out of it. So you can see power history, 9 hours and 45 minutes it's been going, and you can see all the stats here. Like I said, it doesn't show on screen time, so I can't show you what the actual on screen time is, but the battery life has been pretty good. Easily get me through the day, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you're a heavy user, I think it probably would still get you through the day. So yeah, battery life has been spot on for me. I had no issues with it. And if you want to save a bit of extra life, do what I just said, and you can save more battery life if you are a heavy user. So next, I want to show you a nice cool feature. So we're going to jump into settings really quick. Display and gestures, this, and tick this. So a cool feature that I want to show you is this motion gesture. So what you can do is double tap the screen and it automatically unlocks, and you could just unlock it normally. Or if you swipe to the right, it takes you straight to blink feed. And if you swipe this way, it takes you straight to your home screen, which is pretty cool. And if you swipe down, it automatically activates voice kind of search, so you can actually make calls straight away. So you could swipe down and say call home, and it will automatically call home. So let's try it out. Call home.
More than one match was found.
And then it will automatically unlock, and then you could call home or call whatever number that you want. So that is pretty cool. The one issue I did find with that is when it was in my pocket and the front of the screen was kind of facing against my leg, it did unlock. It did think I was trying to double tap the screen, and it did unlock, and it started dialing numbers and stuff like that. I could hear that. And you know, when you have it in your pocket and it's on, and the screen is on and it's consuming more battery, so that's why I just disabled it. So you just need to bear that in mind. If you have like a case that flips over and it wouldn't be a problem, you can have that, but for me I just had to disable it. But it's a nice little feature to have and show off. Next, I want to talk about gaming wise. It performs great. I have a separate gaming video on my channel if you want to go check that one out. Basically, it handles every single game without a problem. It can handle every single game on the Google Play Store without a hitch, no lag or anything like that. It could crank the settings right up to the max and you wouldn't have any issues whatsoever. So this phone, in terms of gaming, has you covered. The only small problem I would have to say is the on-screen buttons. Sometimes when you're gaming you might accidentally press the back or the home button. That has happened to me a few times, so just keep that in mind, when if you're going to be gaming on this phone. Next, I want to talk about the music experience. Again, I do have a separate video going a little bit more in depth about the music experience, but overall the music experience is pretty damn good. The two front-facing speakers are just as good as the predecessor, the HTC One M7. That sounded amazing, and this one sounds just as good. It's very clear and sharp audio, especially when you crank it up really loud, and it just sounds great. Nothing really competes to this right now. So music wise, it has you covered. The stock music application is pretty decent as well, and I do like how it's got like this visualizer right here as well, which is nice when you start playing the music. So music wise, it has you covered. Go check out my video if you want to know a bit more in depth about that. Now I'm going to be talking about some of the small issues that I had with the phone so far. These are very small, minor issues. First off is the lock button up here. The lock button, I didn't find it to be... It was responsive. It's very easy to click. You can really hear it click and everything like that. But sometimes I'll click it and I'll hear it click and I'll feel it click, but it just wouldn't lock the screen or unlock it. And this did happen on a few occasions, which kind of frustrated me a bit. And there were times when I've had the screen on and I've pressed it, put it in my pocket, and then when I take out my pocket again, I found out it didn't actually lock properly and it's opening up applications and doing whatever it wants. So I don't know if it's just an issue with my phone, but I did have a few problems with this lock button, and it's just when you press it, it's not responding as quickly, or just responding at all and locking the phone. So that's one of the small issues that I've had. And the second very minor issue that I had was the keyboard. The stock keyboard that you get with it is very narrow. When I first had it, it was very narrow and it was very hard to type with it. Normally HTC makes good keyboards. I don't know if it's because the phone is actually a bit taller, so they expect it to be a bit narrow, but I did find it very difficult to type on it. I've got pretty long fingers, not the biggest fingers, but I've got pretty long fingers. This is the keyboard and I just found it very difficult. I was constantly missing stuff like that, so I downloaded Google's keyboard, and that just worked fine. That was perfect for me. The Google keyboard was perfect for me. I installed that and that was fine. Maybe you might use it for yourself and you might find it fine, but for me personally, I didn't really necessarily like this keyboard. It was just too narrow and it was very hard to type on. So yeah, those are the only issues that I had with it. Just two small minor issues that I had with it, and other than that, the phone is pretty much faultless. Perfect phone. So to wrap up, the M8 is simply amazing phone, both inside and out, from hardware to software. Everything runs beautiful together. This is easily, if not the best phone out this year. When you compare it to the S5 and potentially the Note 4 which comes out, or the new iPhone, this is simply up there with one of the top, if not one, the best phone out there right now. And it's much better than the predecessor, the M7, in many different ways. From hardware, the hardware has improved, the software has improved a lot as well. Everything's just been improved since the last one to make the phone pretty much the perfect phone. If you're considering buying this phone, I have no problem recommending this phone to anyone. Bear in mind, some people may be a bit iffy about the camera. That's what everybody's going on about. The camera's not really great, but like I said before, I've tested the camera and the camera for me has been great. It's been even better than the Note 3, which has a 13 megapixel camera. The images were much sharper. I've compared it to, even on the S4, I've compared the images and it's been a lot better. So for me personally, the camera isn't really an issue for me, but it might be for some. Go watch some camera tests and stuff like that, and you can make up your own mind. But other than that, the phone's been great, and yeah, I have no problem recommending it. And I hope this review helped you decide whether or not you want to buy this phone. And yeah. Leave your comments in the comment sections down below. Let me know what you think. Do you like this phone? Are you going to be getting it? Are you saving up for one? What do you and don't you like about it? Leave all that good stuff in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. And don't forget to check my channel because I have a lot more videos on this phone and a bunch of different gaming videos, camera tests, the unboxing, bunch of stuff. So go check out my channel if you want to see more videos in the M8. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.